Children could be banned from school if they aren't vaccinated. Health Secretary Matt Hancock has hit out at fake news about the safety of vaccinations as he refused to rule out keeping children out of school without the jabs. The number of people receiving vaccinations dropped for the fourth year despite the number of cases trebling in 2018. Mr. Hancock blamed inaccurate social media posts and said he wouldn't rule anything out when questioned on the matter on talk radio. Experts have said that it would be an extreme solution to the problem and could fuel the anti-vax movement. Mr. Hancock said, "I'm very worried about this. It's a responsibility on everybody to get vaccinated. It's good for you and your family, but it's also good for your neighbor." If the England and Wales were to ban children from schools, it could echo French policies where pupils aren't allowed into state schools or nurseries unless they have all their vaccinations. A similar policy exists in the US for children without MMR jabs. Last week, a Brooklyn judge upheld an emergency order which said people living in certain parts of Williamsburg, Brooklyn, must get vaccinated amid a measles outbreak there. Mr. Hancock was speaking on Julia Hartley-Brewer's breakfast show after new figures from UNICEF showed that over 500,000 children in the UK were unvaccinated against measles between 2010 and 2017. He said he was very worried about the issue, adding, "It's a responsibility on everybody to get vaccinated." Mr. Hancock was asked by Ms. Hartley-Brewer if he'd consider meeting the Education Secretary, Damian Hinds, to discuss following in the footsteps of France and the US. He replied, "I wouldn't rule out anything, but I don't think we're there yet. In America they tried to do this and the courts stopped them, so it can be complicated, but really it's people's responsibility as a parent to do the right thing for their own children as well as, of course, the right of the community that everybody lives in." Earlier, Mr. Hancock said the rise in people not vaccinating had to be tackled, and that he was particularly worried about the spread of anti-vaccination messages online. He told BBC Radio 4's Today program that he was meeting social media companies on Monday to require that they do more to take down lies that are promoted on social media about the impact of vaccinations. Asked whether children who have not been vaccinated for measles should be excluded from schools, Prime Minister Theresa May's official spokesman said, "I haven't seen anyone suggesting that." UNICEF's analysis shows that increasing numbers of youngsters around the world are being left unprotected against measles, which can cause disability and death. Its report showed that an estimated 169 million children around the world missed out on the first dose of the measles vaccine between 2010 and 2017, an average of 21.1 million a year. Simon Stevens, chief executive of NHS England, said, "Getting yourself and your children vaccinated against killer diseases is essential to staying healthy, and vaccine rejection is a serious and growing public health time bomb." With measles cases almost quadrupling in England in just 1 year, it is grossly irresponsible for anybody to spread scare stories about vaccines, and social media firms should have a zero-tolerance approach towards this dangerous content. A list of 10 high-income countries, published by UNICEF, shows the US has the highest number of children missing out on their first dose of the vaccine. Between 2010 and 2017, some 2,593,000 youngsters in the US did not have their first dose of the vaccine. Children need 2 doses of the vaccine for protection, with the World Health Organization (WHO) recommending 95% coverage to achieve herd immunity, which offers protection against the disease spreading in the community. In the UK in 2017, there were 259 measles cases in England, rising to 966 in 2018. In 2016 and 2017, uptake of the first dose of the MMR vaccine in 5-year-olds in the UK exceeded 95% for the first time. However, 2 doses of MMR vaccine are required to ensure full protection from measles. Mary Ramsey, Public Health England's head of immunisations, said, "The UK achieved WHO measles elimination status in 2017, so the overall risk of measles to the UK population is low." However, due to ongoing measles outbreaks in Europe, we will continue to see cases, particularly in unimmunized individuals. UNICEF said the rates reflected lack of access, poor health systems, complacency, and in some cases fear or skepticism about vaccines.